Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz. I mean, what can I say? Conor gets upset. It's crazy, man. Nate Diaz came in a little bit taller. He's 6 feet. Conor's 5'9". Both weighed in. I think Nate was 169. Conor might have been 168 or vice versa. First round, let's get right into it. First round, Conor won. His timing that he talks about, that precision timing, was working. He caught Nate with some good shots, some good jabs, crosses, and also uppercuts. And Diaz, they tend to bleed a lot, him and his brother. And Nate was bleeding. I want to say it was over his left eye. Nate was bleeding. A lot of blood, so that first round was tough. And I think Conor caught him with some good shots. Kind of stunned him a little bit. Um, they both went to their benches, kind of recollected, and came out. I thought Conor, up until like the 2.5 minute mark, was winning the second round. And then Nate just seems to, just like when Conor caught my man last fight. His name escapes me right now. The Brazilian guy. Let's see. Who did he just fight? It's not. He was gonna fight Dos Anjos. Um, Conor McGregor. Josie Aldo. Yeah, Josie. When he fought Josie Aldo, he caught him with a good shot. It didn't necessarily seem like that was a shot that would have knocked him out, but it just did. So Nate, kind of in that same vein, Nate caught Conor with a shot. And I didn't think it was that great a shot. Conor had actually ate some of those punches earlier, and he caught him with a shot, and it kind of stunned Conor a little bit. And he never regained his bearings. Like that one shot, he never regained his bearings. And I think what it is, I think Conor is a really talented fighter. I really do. But I think when you're jumping up weight classes as rapidly as he's doing, don't go for the title right away. Go with somebody kind of to get your feet wet in that weight class. You know, just like they do in boxing, you have to ease into it because you're not used to that power. You're just not. You can't simulate that in training. You cannot do it. It has to be a real live fight. And so I think he should have started with someone else. And I know he was set up to face Dos Anjos. Not ready. But hey, I can't give Dos Anjos credit because he wasn't prepared to fight. But that kid looked like a freaking monster last time. But I think he should have stepped up maybe with some lighter competition before facing somebody, an established vet like Nate Diaz, who is talented. He has a lot of losses, but Nate can fight. You know, he's a good fighter. So Nate caught him with that shot. I want to say it was right around the 234 mark, and Conor never recovered. I give him credit for trying. He tried to swing. He tried to swing out of it, but I think he got fatigued. He was off kilter. He never caught his balance. I think he was a little fatigued, and he did something that I don't think was smart. He tried to take Nate down, and Nate's ground game. I think Conor can survive it when he's on point, but not when you're like that. But I think if you're Conor, if you gotta say, do I want to get knocked the hell out, or do I want to get submitted? It probably looks better for him to get submitted. So he went down to the ground, and I think he was just gonna try to wiggle out. Like you seen, Nate had him. He had Mount on him, pounding away for a quick second. Conor turned over. At that point, it's like you're probably not getting out of this. You just don't want to get your face bashed in, like Ronda Rousey and all of those. Mess around and get knocked out, or had a rough stop it for real. So yeah, man, Nate Diaz, he gets a lot of credit. I think Nate needs to maybe get a little bit more serious in the weight room, get a little more cut up, get a little stronger. It's something about him, man. I don't see why he would have 10 losses. UFC, I give him credit putting on tough fights. It's like these guys, they can't get anybody that'll win. Holly Holm, I didn't see this part, but I heard she lost to Misha Tate tonight. So it's just like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, man, it was a good fight. UFC, another star goes down. Craziness. Conor McGregor. Oh, that's another thing I want to touch on. Pride before the fall, man. Pride before the fall. So he talked all this stuff, but you can beat Floyd Mayweather. Just focus on doing you, man. All these UFC guys, let me give you a tip. Leave Floyd Mayweather's name out your mouth. Don't go for that free publicity. Handle your business. Or if you're going to talk about Floyd, talk about him in a complimentary and respectful way. Stop dissing Floyd. You can't beat Floyd. You can't do it. You just can't do it. Leave him alone. All right, respect what that man has done in his sport and try to do the same in your sport, which you have not done, which you will not do. But that's what you try to. You respect the legends. You don't go at them. It's not a competition because they're different sports. The sports is just like baseball. You don't see UFC people calling out baseball players. Oh, I can hit that ball just like Nate Harper. No, man. I can throw just like Verlander. I think people get this competition thing mixed up. Competition at times is fine, but it has to be in moderation. That's the biggest thing that black people got going right now. Competition with each other. Sometimes you need teamwork, not competition. You got to know and have discernment on when to use which one and what's going to help the situation as a whole. UFC, just be complimentary of boxing. Because what will be better? You dissing Floyd or you shouting Floyd out and having Floyd come front row to your fight, right? Uniting the sports. It's not a one or the other. Most people who like boxing have some interest in UFC. Most people who like UFC should have some fleeting interest in boxing. You can have both sports. They both can be successful. Stop throwing shots, man. Sometimes you don't go in with the Trump mindset. Don't Trump it. You know what I'm saying? I'm making him a verb now. Don't Donald Trump it. Sometimes you need to go in uniting and not dividing. Sometimes you need to go in with love and embracing instead of separation. America, this is for you too. Stop trying to tear down black people, Indian people, Mexican people. Sometimes you have to embrace, right? This isn't a white-led thing. Like, the best person to lead should win. It shouldn't be based on race. And if you have kind of a separatist mindset, a segregation type mindset, that's gonna be the downfall. You gotta embrace people with love. You can't generalize the whole people. Like, I'm getting into Trump now, but you can't generalize a whole group of people because one bad apple did something wrong and just say they're all like that. Embrace people with love, man. That's kind of overall it gets you further. Because let's imagine back to UFC, if Floyd Mayweather and some of the top boxers was coming out front row and supporting UFC events, and then you got Conor McGregor front row or backstage with Floyd Mayweather dapping it up. That gets you more pub than these little pot shots, man. Man, you building relationships, which are super important. So, hey, watch this video, man. These guys can learn a thing or two. Good fight. Everybody gets humbled at some point, especially when you're cocky. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he bounces back. We'll see what's next for Nate Diaz. I'm looking forward to that John Jones-Dan Cormier fight. I still don't think John Jones is mentally right. But hey, the kid hasn't been beat, or not fairly beat, or legitimately beat. So we'll see. All right, guys, peace.